First of all, we have to understand the difference between persistent assistants and dynamic assistants. Persistent assistant is just the plain VAP assistant that you created in the system prompt. It doesn't have initial context of the user because they don't have initial context. They need to gather the information within the call. So persistent assistants has a problem with that. Which use cases we would use a persistent assistant? They're not going to be adding any extra properties on top of what we have configured in their dashboard, and the system will perform statically. Maybe you can use some tools to customize it, but it's a much rigid assistant. The difference with a dynamic assistant is that we always have an initial context of the customer. Dynamic assistant can be much more flexible and have more context of the call that they are making. In an outbound example, instead of just creating a call with our assistant ID, we would first query our DB, gather more information about a customer, and override the system prompt with custom variables. In this example, we could make the assistant call and mention their first name in the first message, reducing the hang-up call. It doesn't need VAP tools to actually gather information from our API. Of course, that we're going to need tools to perform actions. We could already provide the assistant with the initial context required.